Level 1. The Cashier. You got the job in 4 days. Online application. A video interview with the AI system that analyzed your facial expressions. Nobody called you back. You just showed up for orientation, and that was that. Your register is number 7. You will know everything about register number 7 by the end of week 1. The way the belt sticks on the left side. The customer who comes every Tuesday and argues about expired coupons. Walmart tracks everything. There's a metric called CPH, customers per hour. And if yours drops, a manager appears behind you without explanation and just watches. No feedback, just presence. The customers are the variable nobody prepares you for. Most are fine, some are not. A woman throws a bag of apples at the belt because you didn't say hello fast enough. A man screams for 4 minutes because the system won't accept his expired rain check. You smile. That's the job. Smile, apologize, de-escalate. You make $14 an hour in a store that makes $90 million a year. Black Friday is its own category of experience. The doors open at 6 a.m. and someone is already crying. Not a customer, a coworker. And the manager is on the walkie saying, keep it moving, and the woman in line is filming you on her phone because you're too slow. You go home and your feet hurt in a way that doesn't respond to anything. Walmart is the largest private employer in the United States, employing 1 in every 200 working Americans. The company generates $648 billion in annual revenue. That's more than the entire GDP of Sweden. A full-time Walmart cashier earns approximately $31,200 per year. The federal poverty line for a family of 4 in the United States is the same number. Level 2. The department associate. You got off the register. That's the first thing you tell people, and you say it like it means something, because it does. You're in electronics now. Your domain is roughly 40 square feet of display cases, a locked cabinet with a key only you and 2 managers have, and a wall of TVs all playing the same content on a loop that you will hear in your sleep for the rest of your natural life. Your job has a rhythm. Open the cases for customers who want to see something they won't buy. Answer questions about products you weren't trained on and learned about from YouTube. Watch people steal AirPods by switching packaging and pretend you didn't see it because loss prevention told you not to confront, and you're not getting hurt over $180 earbuds that aren't yours. Write it up. Move on. The key is the thing nobody tells you about. Having the key to the case makes you a target. Customers track you across the store. You'll be in grocery getting lunch, and someone will find you, actually hunt you down, because they need to see a display model, and you're the one with the key. You stop eating lunch in the store. You eat in your car with the door locked. $15.50 an hour now. The $1.50 raise took 8 months and a review where your manager read from a printed sheet and didn't make eye contact once. Holiday season is when you understand what this job actually costs. November and December, the store gets a different energy, not festive, pressured. Corporate sends planograms, updated weekly, sometimes twice a week. You reset the floor on Tuesday, new planogram arrives Wednesday, you reset again Thursday, before open. A district manager is coming Friday, and everything needs to be perfect. And perfect means exactly what the document says, regardless of whether it makes any sense for how customers actually shop. The district manager walks through in 11 minutes, doesn't speak to you directly, leaves. You spend the rest of the day putting everything back the way it actually works. You updated your resume last Sunday. You haven't sent it anywhere yet. You're not sure if that's inertia or loyalty. You're not sure there's a difference anymore. Walmart loses an estimated $3 billion annually to theft and considers it cheaper than the liability of allowing employees to physically intervene. Industry estimates suggest that around 40% of retail shrinkage may come from employee theft, though this varies by company. Based on estimated losses, theft at Walmart may occur more than once per second across its stores. Level 3. The team lead. You wanted this. Remember that. You applied twice, interviewed 3 times, and when they finally gave you the vest with the different color trim, you felt something real. That lasted about a week. You are now the person between corporate directives and the people who actually do the work. Neither side fully respects you. Your team remembers when you were one of them, and some of them applied for this job too. Your manager sees you as an extension of his own accountability. When your team underperforms, it lands on you, not him. You are the buffer. That's the job description nobody shows you. You make $17.50 an hour. You are expected to work the floor, manage schedules, handle customer escalations your associates can't resolve, and complete administrative tasks that somehow always need to happen during the busiest hours of the day. One of your associates calls in every other Friday. You know it, she knows it, HR knows it. The process for addressing it takes 6 weeks of documentation minimum. In the meantime, you cover her shifts personally, because being short-staffed on a Friday is worse than the alternative. You stopped eating lunch with your old coworkers 3 months ago. It got complicated. Bananas are the best-selling item in Walmart stores. Walmart is open 24 hours in many locations, which means someone is always in charge. Nearly 19 out of 20 Americans visit Walmart at least once a year. The average shopper makes 67 trips annually and spends approximately $54 per visit. Walmart is the largest grocery retailer in the United States, ahead of all major competitors, including Kroger, Costco, and Amazon. Level 4. The assistant manager. You made it to salary. That's what you told yourself when you signed the offer. No more hourly, no more watching the clock. You didn't realize that salary in retail just means they stopped counting the hours, because counting them would be embarrassing for everyone. You work 55 hours a week minimum, opening shifts, closing shifts, overnight inventory twice a year, where you walk the entire store at 2 a.m. with a scanner, while a skeleton crew restocks around you. You are on call, on your days off, in a way that isn't written anywhere, but is completely understood. Your phone has never been fully silent since you took this job. $58,000 a year, in a store doing $90 million. You manage people now. Real management, hiring, performance reviews, terminations. The terminations are the part nobody prepares you for. You've let go of people who needed that job in ways you could see clearly and couldn't do anything about. You walk them out and go back to your office, which is a desk behind a two-way mirror overlooking the floor, and you sit there for a few minutes before the next thing. The average Walmart assistant manager earns approximately $70,000 per year, with a typical range between $55,000 and $95,000, depending on location and experience. A large majority of Walmart's salaried managers started as hourly associates, reflecting the company's strong internal promotion pipeline. According to employee reviews, assistant managers routinely work 55 hours per week. As salaried employees, they receive no overtime pay. Level 5. The store manager. You run a $90 million business. That's not a metaphor. That's the actual annual revenue of the building you walk into every morning through the back entrance, because store managers don't use the front door. 500 employees, 3 assistant managers reporting to you. You know the P&L, the shrink numbers, the labor percentage, the customer satisfaction scores, the online order fulfillment rate. You know which department is bleeding and why, and what corporate thinks the solution is, and why corporate is wrong, but you'll implement it anyway, because that's the relationship. $120,000 a year, the most money you've ever made. Also, the most the company will ever pay you, relative to what you're actually managing. Your district manager calls every Monday. The call is 30 minutes, and follows the same structure every week. Numbers, problems, action plans. He has 18 stores. You are one of them. The call feels like a performance review that never ends. The thing nobody outside retail understands is that you don't actually control much. Pricing is corporate, planograms are corporate, promotions are corporate, hiring budgets are corporate. You control execution, making sure the machine runs. Inside parameters set by people in Arkansas who last worked a store floor 15 years ago, if ever. Black Friday you arrive at 4 a.m. and leave at midnight, and somewhere in between a fight breaks out over a TV that was already sold out before the doors opened, and you handle it personally because that's what store managers do. Absorb everything the system can't. 3 store managers in your district burned out in the last 2 years. One had a heart attack at 51. He's back at work. As of 2024, Walmart store managers typically earn base salaries ranging from about $90,000 to $170,000 per year, depending on store size, location, and performance. Bonus programs can significantly increase total compensation in high-performing stores, with top-end earnings potentially exceeding $300,000 in exceptional cases. The average Walmart supercenter employs roughly 300 to 600 associates. The store manager is ultimately responsible for store performance, including staffing, scheduling oversight, compliance, safety, and revenue. across the entire operation. Walmart often describes its store managers as the CEO of a multi-million-dollar business. Each store generates tens of millions in annual revenue, and the store manager is accountable for overall financial and operational performance. Level 6, Bentonville. Bentonville, Arkansas. Population 54,000. Home to the most powerful retail operation in human history. You have an office now, a real one, a building with your name on a directory and an assistant who manages your calendar and a view of the Ozarks that you genuinely never have time to look at. Your title is Regional Vice President. You oversee a territory that does $4 billion in annual sales. You have never worked a register. The decisions made in this building affect 1.6 million employees, and you will never meet most of them. The metrics by which store managers are evaluated and eventually removed, that comes from here, from rooms like yours. $400,000 a year plus equity. You have a financial advisor now. You have the estate plan. You have a second property, an estate you chose for tax reasons on the advice of someone whose entire job is thinking about these things, so you don't have to. A store manager in your region sent you an email last month, detailed, specific, about a scheduling algorithm that was cutting hours in ways that were hurting his best people and driving turnover. Good email, well written. He clearly spent time on it. Your assistant flagged it. You read it on a Sunday morning with coffee. You forwarded it to the relevant team with a note asking them to look into it. You never followed up. When Walmart established its headquarters in Bentonville in the 1970s, the town had a population of around 6,000. Today, it has over 60,000 residents, a tenfold increase driven almost entirely by Walmart's growth. In 2025, Walmart opened a new 350-acre headquarters campus in Bentonville, designed to accommodate over 15,000 daily on-site employees. The campus includes fitness centers, childcare facilities, a hotel, 300 electric vehicle charging stations, and 1,000 bike parking spaces. The median household income in Bentonville is approximately $120,000 to $125,000 per year, significantly higher than the Arkansas state median of around $55,000 to $60,000. As the company grew, many suppliers established offices nearby to stay close to Walmart's merchandising and buying teams. Major consumer brands such as Procter & Gamble and Levi Strauss maintain a presence in the region, reflecting Walmart's significant influence on supplier relationships. Myth number 1. Self-checkout was introduced to make shopping faster and more convenient for customers. True or false? Mostly false. Self-checkout was primarily introduced to reduce labor costs, not to improve customer experience. Studies consistently show that customers prefer staffed checkout lanes for larger purchases. Self-checkout also increased theft significantly. Myth number 2. Big box stores like Walmart hurt local economies. True or false? Complicated, but largely true. Multiple academic studies have found that when a Walmart opens in a community, local small businesses see significant revenue declines within a few years. However, Walmart also creates jobs, lowers prices for consumers, and generates tax revenue, making the net economic impact genuinely contested. Myth number 3. Working at Walmart is a dead-end job with no career advancement. True or false? False, but with context. 75% of Walmart's salaried managers in the United States started as hourly associates. However, the odds of advancement are statistically low, given the size of the hourly workforce relative to the number of management positions available. Myth number 4. Walmart is the world's largest retailer by number of stores. True or false? False. By number of locations, several convenience store chains significantly outnumber Walmart globally. Walmart is the world's largest retailer by revenue, not by store count. In the United States alone, there are more Dollar General locations than Walmart stores. Myth number 5. Walmart employees receive good health insurance benefits. True or false? Partially true, but with significant caveats. Walmart does offer health insurance to full-time employees. However, part-time employees, who make up a substantial portion of Walmart's workforce, have more limited access. A 2020 report found that a significant number of Walmart employees in several states were enrolled in Medicaid. Myth number 6. Walmart once tried to get into the banking business. True or false? True. Between 2005 and 2007, Walmart applied 3 times for a federal banking license. The applications were withdrawn after intense lobbying from the banking industry and bipartisan opposition in Congress. Had Walmart succeeded, it would have become one of the largest financial institutions in the United States overnight. The company currently offers financial services through partnerships, but the full banking ambition was blocked.